Hi, my name's Steve. I'm from Rejuvenate Power Pressure Washing Services. I'm a local lad, live in Wharton, and I have been pressure washing around the Fylde for 5 years. If you check out my Facebook page, you can see some pictures and some videos of the work that I've done. I do have quite a few regular customers that are very impressed with my service. I do pride myself on doing the best job I can physically can, and for today, this 2025, I have a new system, and I'm going to talk you through that later on in maybe another video. But just to give you an idea of what I'd like to put across today is that yes, when somebody comes to pressure wash your driveway or your block paving, there can be varying prices out there, you know, and there's a lot of people with the smaller domestic machines that you know, just want to earn a few extra cash. I do it properly, as you can tell by my setup here. You know, this is proper commercial equipment. You know, you are getting the best possible job that, you know, what you're paying for. You know, these people with the cartridges, they run at around about 6 litres per minute, and a lot of people get sidelined by the PSI of all my pressure washers 3600 PSI. It's not the PSI that cleans your surface, it's actually the flow of water. So if you've got a very high flowing pressure washer, it's going to do a good job. If you have a low flowing pressure washer like the Karchers, you know, they roughly run between 6 and 8 litres per minute. So these Karchers, yes, they just tickle the surface because they don't have the water flow in order to blast, you know, the surface clean. And then you're going to get, you know, probably your gardener or your window cleaner that decides, you know, a lot of people might ask him, you know, hey Bob, can you pressure wash my drive, you know, or my patio? And he's decided to go and get, you know, a petrol one from B&Q, you know, or Lidl sell them quite cheap as well sometimes. You know, but they're only going to run about 10 litres a minute, but the public, you know, because they are using a petrol washer, they think it's brilliant, you know, but even 10 litres a minute still isn't doing the job whatsoever. It's still just going to tickle the surface. Just to give you an idea of my machine, like I say, is fully commercial. You know, it is, my machine runs at 35 litres a minute. So that's kind of like, you know, 5 Karchers. You know, maybe a bit more, but you know, you can rest assured if you have block paving and you've not had it cleaned for 30 years, this machine, this setup will absolutely get that pristine clean like brand new. And so many people are so surprised as to how their driveway looks after I've cleaned it. And it's not as expensive as you think, to be honest with you. You know, they can be very messy to do, but and then you've also got the Indian sandstone patios. They might not require as much pressure as a block paved drive, but with my machine, it's fully adjustable. So what I can do is I can adjust the pressure to whatever I require. So if I only require 150 bar, you know, and let's have a look, 15 litres a minute, I can turn my machine down to produce that, so it'll protect your joints. And new for this year as well, also, I have a boiler, and what this effectively does is it turns my cold machine into a hot machine. So I can go from anywhere from 30 degrees up to 150 degrees C. And what that can do is it allows me to clean more delicate stone. So if you have some delicate stone and you don't want to put a load of chemicals on it, I can come along with my steam cleaner and just go over it, and they'll come up nice without the use of using harsh chemicals. And same with the Indian sandstone. I can, you know, if you've got a lot of black spotting, normally they would put a harsh chemical on. I could come along with the steam cleaner, the steam setting on my pressure washer, and hopefully it will remove all those lichens, they call it. Yes, so obviously my steam cleaner there as well, I can have the capacity to do to low pressure steam clean roofs, but maybe this year I'm probably not going to do roofs this year. Yeah, I can do some render work and stuff like that, clean renders. renders. But yeah, this is my machine. It's a 25 horsepower V-twin petrol engine, tailored with a 35 litre pump, and these are the Rolls-Royce components, the interpump pumps, and obviously my pressure gauge there, and I can adjust the pressure to the surface basically. So that gauge there tells me how much pressure is going through my hose, which is obviously at the top there, and I can adjust that to suit your the surface that I'm actually cleaning. I'm quite a flexible guy, I work along shore requirements, so basically, you don't need to be at home if you don't want to be. Some people find it a bit noisy and a bit intrusive, but you don't really need to be in. All you need is access to a cold water supply. That's if it's cold pressure washing, and you can just go to work, I come along, do the job, and when you get back from work you've got a really nice drive there. I'm also quite flexible, just ring me up, have a chat, I'll come down and have a look at the area and discuss how I do it and what's the best approach. I'm also budget conscious. Some people, when we do block paved drives, I have to return another day and brush the sand back in. Some people might like to save a few pounds and decide to do the sand themselves, and they just want the driveway cleaned. I'm more than happy to do that. So if you require any pressure washing doing, just give me a shout, and I'm happy to pop along and discuss it with you. Thank you very much. Cheers.